This is why your logo is the one thing you can't afford to get wrong. As you're watching this video, if you decide that you like this video, hit that like button. It does something to the algorithm so that people that wouldn't otherwise see this video will see this video. Your logo is the face of your brand. It's the visual cue that represents everything that you stand for. And when it comes to building a successful brand, your logo is the one thing that you can't afford to get wrong. Your logo defines your entire brand. It's not just a piece of art, it's the story of your brand in visual form. It tells your customer that you understand their needs, their desires, and pains. At its core, your logo communicates your brand's purpose and your promise. More importantly though, it shows that you care. Not just about your craft or your product, definitely not just about your profits, but specifically your customers' experience with your brand. In professional terms, a strong logo indicates that you're serious about your industry. As a side note, a quick reference for this is what we call the 5-second logo test. With your logo in front of you, stand 10 feet away and stare at your logo for 5 seconds. Can you read it? Do you gather feeling from it? Does it communicate enough information to tell somebody about what your offer is? Give it a try. Now let's jump back in. We need to talk about the expertise behind the design. Good design is not an accident. It takes skill, psychology. It takes an understanding of how visual elements interact with human perception. A professional designer understands the subtleties of color theory, typography, spatial harmony. They understand how these elements work together to evoke emotion and build trust. Think for a second about the brands that you love. Chances are their logos are not just aesthetically pleasing. There's a whole lot more than that. They resonate with you on a subconscious level, and that's the expertise that you're paying for when you hire a professional. So ask yourself for a second. Number one, did you pay somebody to design your logo? And if so, are you still working with that same designer to design the rest of your brand's identity? Now, on the other hand, did you design your logo by yourself? And if so, I want you to be honest. Do you really believe that this logo defines your brand, specifically in terms of values and your brand's long-term goals? Now, we're going to have specific steps for you no matter which category you fall into, but no matter where you're at, my hope is that this video will help you take actionable steps to evaluate your current logo. And on top of that, help you understand whether working with a professional design team could help you further your business. So let's talk about the role of your logo. It is not just a design. Specifically, your logo is a tool. First impressions matter. Most of the time, your logo is the first thing that potential customers will interact with in terms of your brand. It is almost always the first thing that they will encounter. In that split second, it communicates your brand's tone, your values, your brand's identity. A logo is a memory trigger. A well-designed logo sticks in people's minds, making your brand memorable and recognizable. It really is the cornerstone of your brand's identity, and it sets the tone for the rest of your branding elements. From your website to the complexity of your packaging, the logo is that tool that guides all elements of that visual identity. And this is really why having a cohesive brand identity is crucial. Like I said, the logo does not just stand alone. It's part of a larger ecosystem that includes color palette, typography, and overall style. And together, all of these elements combined create your cohesive brand identity, aka the feel of your brand. Now, without cohesion, your brand risks being perceived as generic at best. And frankly, the odds are stacked against you being perceived as even generic being that unprofessional. Now, at worst, your brand is just forgettable. And when your brand is forgettable or even generic, you risk being perceived as a commodity. When potential customers view your brand as a commodity, they make their decisions on price and convenience, not loyalty. Building a memorable brand is all about consistency. This means that every interaction a customer has with your brand, from your logo to your customer service, all of it needs to tell the same story. A strong logo anchors this story and makes it easier for customers to connect with you emotionally. Let's pause for a second and take a look at the logo from the company Light Matter. Light Matter's logo is a strong representation of modern branding principles. I mean, their logo clearly indicates that their company understands their industry, which is the quantum computing space. It's simple, but memorable. Clean, minimalist lines that are easy to recognize and remember. Simplicity ensures that the logo is versatile across platforms. It scales from digital screens to physical merchandise. And it is deeply brand relevant. The use of red and the curved line might indicate energy, a wave. It suggests light and a nod to photonics, which is central to the company's technology. The choice to make the LM stylized keeps it directly tied to the brand's name. It's a futuristic design that aligns with Light Matter's cutting-edge photonic computing tech. Inherently, it signals innovation and forward thinking. And this is essential for a tech company pushing the boundaries. This logo reinforces Light Matter's position as a highly specialized and key player in its industry. It's an excellent example of how a logo can encapsulate a company's core message. It's simple, powerful. It actually reminds us a lot of the classic Atari logo. Sort of a nod to that retro nostalgia, but we're still pushing towards the future. Pretty cool, but let's circle back to your logo. I gotta be honest, Part of the reason that this is so important, right? Getting your logo wrong can be costly. First and foremost, confused messaging, right? A poorly designed logo sends mixed signals, and even that's being generous. Bad logos make it hard for your customer to understand who you are and what you stand for. You lose opportunities. An unprofessional logo makes potential customers question your credibility. A bad logo on a brand can be the best marketing for your competition. And I get it, there are costs to rebrand. Redesigning the logo and reestablishing brand recognition can be costly and time-consuming. But eventually, you are going to have to do it if you want to remain a player in your industry. And if you end up having to do this from a place of reacting rather than being proactive, this process will sideline you for weeks or even months. But let's remain optimistic here. Let's talk about long-term growth potential. Investing in a strong logo is investing in your brand's future. It is. A well-designed logo does in fact grow your business. It will always become the integral piece of your brand's reputation and your identity. The thing is, even when mistakes happen, and they will, a strong brand identity helps you recover faster and learn from those mistakes. Now, of course, you do have to have systems in place to make sure that you are getting that feedback and effectively growing from it, and so that's a topic for another day in another video. So hit that subscribe button. Here are some action steps that'll give you right now though. Number one, audit your logo. Does it reflect your brand's value, your tone, your target audience? And again, use that 5-second logo test that we talked about earlier. Stand 10 feet away, stare at your logo for 5 seconds, and really decide, does this communicate effectively your brand's offer, your vision, your values? Now, even more effectively, go seek feedback from other people. Try to get honest feedback from your customers, both past and present. Talk to colleagues and listen to these people as they tell you what they think your brand communicates. This is some of the most high-value information that you can gain for your brand. And of course, consider consulting a professional. Shameless plug, go to designco.co. If you feel like your logo is not hitting the mark, consult with a designer who understands branding. This is one of the most valuable investments you can make when it comes to breaking through those plateaus and hitting the next level with your company. And it's because your logo is not just a symbol. It truly is the foundation of your brand. By getting it right, you are setting your business up for long-term success. Take the time, invest the resources, build something awesome, and do it because you cannot afford to get this wrong. Well, you can afford to get it wrong temporarily, but you cannot afford to keep it wrong. Because it is not just about looking good. It's about building a brand that customers remember, that they trust, that they love. So I hope this was helpful. Drop a comment, let us know about your logo. If you like this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you know when our videos come out. And of course, hit that link below, go to designco.co and let us know what we can do for your business. Without further ado, my friends, see you next time.